On her first date with a billionaire, Mary noticed something bone-chilling. Inside his multi-million-dollar mansion, a single drop of blood sat on the floor, seemingly out of thin air. Driven by instinct, she leaned down to inspect it, only to realize with a jolt of horror that the blood was her own. To keep Sean from noticing anything was wrong, she quickly made an excuse to duck into the bathroom and patch herself up. Afterwards, she gritted her teeth against the pain and sat through a meal of KFC, acting as if everything were perfectly normal. Desperate for a chance to marry into wealth, Mary didn't want to blow this rare opportunity. Little did she know, the events about to unfold would become a lifelong nightmare. At first, Sean was the picture of a perfect gentleman. When he learned Mary came from a humble background, with a mother and grandmother who were both nurses, he didn't look down on her. Instead, he showered her with praise, calling nursing a sacred and noble profession. But the mask slipped the moment a dog began barking nearby. Sean's face transformed instantly. It was as if he had become a completely different person. Mary was stunned by his sudden violent outburst over a stray dog. However, when Sean explained that he had been severely bitten as a child and suffered from deep-seated trauma, her suspicions faded. After dinner, he brought her back to the mansion and invited her in for a drink. Naive and slow to sense the danger, Mary agreed. It wasn't long before a blood-curdling scream echoed from the house. The woman who had looked radiant moments ago was now pale with terror, though no one knew exactly what horrors she had encountered inside. In a burst of adrenaline, the once frail Mary managed to scale the towering perimeter gate with her bare hands. Even after taking a hard fall on the other side, she didn't stop to nurse her injuries. She just ran for her life. Hearing Sean's enraged roars, the neighbors chose to stay out of it. One neighbor saw the whole thing but simply turned off their lights, pretending they hadn't seen a thing. With nowhere to hide, Mary sprinted toward a crowded area. Spotting a group of women chatting by the roadside, she begged them to call the police. To her absolute horror, once the police heard her story, they didn't offer protection. They threw her straight into a holding cell. Mary didn't fight it. To her, even a jail cell felt like a sanctuary. She figured that no matter how much power or money Sean had, he couldn't just barge into a police station and take her. But just as she thought she might make it through the night, the sheriff swung the cell door open and told her someone was there to see her. Standing in the hallway was Sean. He had bought and paid for the sheriff. By running to the police, Mary had walked right into his trap. Just as she hit rock bottom, Sean offered her a twisted sliver of hope by bailing her out, with one sadistic condition. The moment she stepped out of the station, he would personally hunt her down. If she could survive until morning, he would let her live. With no other choice, Mary accepted the grim wager. As she left the station, she noticed the hallway walls were plastered with missing person flyers for young women. It became chillingly clear that those disappearances were likely tied to the man behind her. Sure enough, as soon as she hit the street, she saw a man lurking on the corner, matching her pace with eerie precision. Just as panic began to set in, another stranger appeared behind her. Fortunately, they were just passers-by. Shaken to her core, Mary lunged into the middle of the street and flagged down a taxi. Seeing her disheveled and terrified state, the driver remarked that she wasn't the first girl he'd seen running for her life like that. Luckily, the driver was a good man and dropped her off safely at her boss's house. Since her boss was the one who had introduced her to Sean, she